Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 28th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor. We have British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon. Check out our system that went through the area yesterday. It is now across western Montana. You can clearly see the spin in the atmosphere there. And now if you take a look out across the Pacific Ocean, you can see our next cutoff low. This is going to be moving towards the Oregon, California coastline over the next couple of days. We'll take a look at what kind of impacts that is going to bring. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as well. Looks like we're going to be warming it up as we go towards the end of the month here, the last few days, and on in through the first week of September. We'll take a look at the weather models on that here in a moment. Now I'm going to back this all the way up to yesterday morning, and you can see that we had that convergent zone activity here as we scrolled through the afternoon hours. Some pretty impressive showers rolling across the central sound. I was at work, have a nice view there, and got some pretty nice images of what was going on. And then you can see that pivot through the area, and then we go through the overnight hours and back to where we are this morning. Nary a cloud to be seen in the sky across the state of Oregon. You can see the smoke out there across portions of Idaho. But yeah, we got some nice sunny days coming up there, so get out there and enjoy these. We're going to get one more taste of summer at least before we start to head off into the fall months. Now, taking a look at SeaTac yesterday, this is the view from my work. The Alaska building is there. There's a Delta building. If you look closely, you can see the SeaTac tower. This looks like more like something you would see in Colorado, Kansas, or Oklahoma. Rare treat here across the Pacific Northwest, but this did have some big hailstones with it also, some very heavy rain and some lightning strikes. Had some decent inflow at times. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd think this thing was about to produce a tornado. So yeah, a nice treat here across some of the central Puget Sound with that thunderstorm activity going on yesterday. So before I go on into the little weather station briefing there, I want to show you this. This is the Doppler radar yesterday. You can see that moving across Bainbridge Island, across the Puget Sound, is producing lightning strikes near West Seattle there, then moved and clipped just the northern portion of SeaTac. Look at the core on that storm, and that's about the time I took that image here. And then you can see it blasted Tukwila, moved down off to the southeast, just missed Fairwood, Maple Valley, Ravensdale before it pushed off into the Cascade foothills, producing lightning on its way. So yeah, fun stuff there yesterday for storm lovers here across the region. And I clicked on this station here, West Seattle. Looks like Beach Drive Southwest. I'm not sure whose station that is, but I selected that one, and you can see it did pick up some of that lightning activity 2 to 4 miles away. It tells you when it happened, and then you can come back out and you click on any one of these parameters and it graphs it for you, and you can watch this when you're away from your home, and you can see your wind update every few seconds. It does UV index as well. It tells you how hard it's raining or when it starts raining. So if you want one of these stations, click on that link down below. Highly recommended. Now, we talked about yesterday, the SPC did not include Western Washington in that thunderstorm outlook, so I guess that's why you watch this channel, to kind of check in so we can beat the SPC on thunderstorm potential for the region. But today and tomorrow, we don't have any thunderstorm threat coming up here. We'll take a look at what's coming this weekend with that upper level low, however, in a moment, and this is day 2. So looking at SeaTac, 68 yesterday, officially 0.08 of an inch in the bucket, and we're up at 1.66, well above average for the month of August. Our daily highs are a bit below normal, but our overnight lows are a bit above normal here. But overall, SeaTac is below normal here for the month of August, and we'll take a look at the rest of the region here in a moment as well. Bellingham, 65 yesterday, 7 degrees below average, and doing exceptionally well on precipitation, 2.61 inches. So looking at what is coming up here in the short term, this is the North American model. You can see as we go through the day and afternoon today, we got the north winds coming down the Strait of Georgia, or northwesterly, north winds down the Puget Sound and the Willamette Valley, and you see the flow reverse here as we go on into tonight and tomorrow morning. The easterly winds starting to push across the Cascades of Washington, Oregon, and you can see the easterly start to flow across portions of eastern Washington as we go on into Thursday afternoon, especially eastern Oregon. Also some offshore flow, so we're going to warm up here for the last couple of days of August and then on in through early September. Now, taking a look at what is going on with this upper level low. There goes our system yesterday. There's Washington, Oregon, and California. There's our upper level low, kind of taking its sweet time, pinwheeling, not doing much. But then all of a sudden it wants to get its act together and start to push off to the northeast towards the southern Oregon coastline as we go through Sunday. And this could start to destabilize things as early as Saturday across some of the Oregon Cascades, bring some thunderstorm activity with it. And if things line up right, we could bring some of this out over lower portions, the Willamette Valley, and maybe even up into Washington if things line up just right. But then you can see this traverse across the area as we go on into about Monday night here. So looking at Saturday afternoon, I go ahead and sped us forward here, and you can see that it's going to destabilize things across the Cascades, Oregon, and by Sunday, it does include some of Washington here as well. So we'll have to watch that for a thunderstorm threat. We'll be looking at the high resolution models as we go over the next couple days. We're not quite there. You can see we're still looking, Saturday afternoon is still 96 hours out, and Sunday afternoon is about 120 hours out. So we've got a day or two to go, but we'll be watching this very closely. Now, taking a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. You got Washington to the far right, same thing on the map over here with the GFS. You can see Alaska up there, and you can see our system yesterday moving through as we speak off to the east of us, going through Montana right now. Ridge building over the area, and then we watch this upper level lows. We got a pretty strong ridge here across some of the western portions of the USA, and then this tries to swing through here, cools us down for a bit, and then we start to develop another ridge after that. Some deeper troughing well off to the north and west here, trying to drive this ridging here across the region. Pretty good agreement between the European and the GFS as we look right now. But then we start to squat into the future to try to see if there's anything in the fantasy forecast. You can see kind of a decaying front moving towards Washington or the Pacific Northwest here, and nothing of the sort on the GFS. Big model disagreement as we go through the extended. I mean, look at this troughing here on the European versus this massive ridging. This would be a heat wave across the Pacific Northwest, according to the GFS. So a lot of disagreement as we go on through the extended forecast. It'll be fun to be breaking that down over the next few days. So this is the average temperature departure from average minimum. You can see Pacific Northwest above average, some places substantially so. But on the flip side of that, a lot of places, or most of the Pacific Northwest has been below average as far as the high temperatures are concerned. And I brought this one up today because this is just the plain average temperature. If you could look here, you can see the mean temperature, and you can see the higher terrain there, some of the Cascades and Mount Rainier, and see some of the coastal areas in Washington. And of course, as you go east of the Cascades, the mean temperatures are much higher for this time of year. And I did one for Oregon as well. You can kind of see that in the average temperatures for this time of year. And again, average temperatures one more time. This includes Idaho here, Treasure Valley. You can see the higher terrain there across central and northern Idaho as well. So looking at the GFS, check this out as we go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at this warmth coming up here as we go towards the end of the month. Drop back down a little bit as the upper level low is kicking through, then maybe rebuild those temperatures again as we go on into the end of next week. Look at Portland though on the GFS, warming things back up into the 90s here as we go finishing up the end of the month. Quite hot, and then going back into September, dropping down a bit with the upper level low, then maybe bouncing back there as well. And also look at the European. I mean, it shows something similar. You can see this is Wednesday coming up, and then that's today. And then we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and upper level low swings through. And check this out, bounces things back quite dramatically as we go on in through next week. So summer is not over quite yet, folks. And you can see that on the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook that goes through September 6th. Much of the West above average, kind of a sharp cutoff there for some of the eastern portions of the country. Here we go, 6 to 10 day, and it shows us above average signal there. We'll see about that. I don't know. I'd put it, take that with a grain of salt. Here's the 8 to 14 day, though. You can clearly see the West being dominated by above average temperatures there as well. So yeah, fun stuff yesterday with that storm moving through. Can't wait to see what this shows with some high resolution models that approach the coastline here. Just how much lightning are we going to get across the region, and how much will this cool us down? We'll be watching that very closely. This is our next weather maker out here. And of course, every day we'll be breaking down the extended forecast to see what's going to win. Are we going to start to get some troughing as we go through the mid portion of September, or are we going to continue to build some ridging and remain above average? So anyway, we'll break that down day by day. Hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.